Hey guys, I'm not looking at you, I'm not making eye contact. I thought I would scare myself today by using the Mac photo booth to say hi to you and tell you a story. And it's making me uncomfortable, and that's why I'm not looking yet. Just give me a second to warm up. I think we should start doing this more. I'm gonna look now. I think we should start doing this more because who decided, literally. I don't want to edit it. I don't feel like it. And guess what? My camera's dead and I don't have storage on my phone. I think that we're going to re-enter the camera era soon. But today, something that's heavy on my mind, minus all the anxiety and fear, is when I moved into a roach-infested apartment. Yes, I did. So I thought I'd tell you about it. Also, I'm warning you right now that my alarm is going to go off my phone and it's going to piss me off, and I'm going to verbalize that. I'm cleaning my sunglasses off. TTI, the time I moved, I think 6 times in 1 year. Maybe it's 5. It was great. It was perfect. Let me tell you about it. So, I was living in an apartment in the I don't want these on. I feel like we're not together. You know what? Stop. I'm not going to edit it. Stop. I need chopstick. That's a big zit too. I was living in the smack middle of Hollywood. I'm actually going to give you the rundown from the beginning, but I'm going to get chapstick, so you wait here. Don't look at my apartment. I'm coming. My dog's coming now. Don't look at that. They're playing. This is what's up. When I first moved here, I was 20. Freshly 20, and I lived, this isn't going to make sense probably unless you live here. I lived in Koreatown, and it was fun. I had a roommate. There was like an age gap, and now, being as old as my roommate was, I don't want to live with a fucking 20-year-old, so I'm so sorry to my first roommate. But we didn't last very long. No hard feelings. We just didn't. Because, 20-year-olds are love you if you're 20. 20-year-olds are fucking annoying. I was annoying. I know it. Whatever. We lived together, and then we didn't. And then I lived alone for a second. And then I got a roommate, and it was a random man I didn't know. It was great, though. It was fun. But then, randomly, a week before rent was due, he's like, oh, I'm actually going to move, home. And I was like, oh, cool. So I, being who I am, I was like, that's fine. I'll cover the 2-bedroom rent until the end of the lease. That's no problem. So I did that. That's not good. And I had no concept of money at this time. So then I was like, well, I never got to have my college fantasy. I'm going to go live in a big apartment building so it feels like I'm in a dorm, which I did. Okay. And it was in the smack middle of Hollywood. Sorry, I got to catch my breath. You guys are making me anxious. It was in the smack middle of Hollywood. It was a studio. It was overpriced as fuck. Okay? And I did not gain concept of money until I was dirt poor. Okay? I was getting money here and there, and I was paying my rent. I did not have a concept of it, but we'll get to that. I lived in a studio on Sunset and Vine. If you know, you know. And that's where I got CC. And then I was so bored because I was living alone in a studio. And I was like, I need my best friend, Jake, to move in with me. So Jake had Cynthia, which is another dog, and that's her best friend. And I was like, what if we all live together? And Jake's like, yeah, durr. So then we moved into an apartment together in the same building. Me wondering why you care. I'm still going, whatever. I just have to get to the Roach thing. I'm thinking of it today. I have anxiety. We moved into an apartment together in the same building. It was so fun. It was the best year of my life. Well, living with Jake was a great era of my life. The things that came along with that year, worst year of my life. But living with Jake, best year of my life, okay? I love Jake. That's still my BFF. But sadly, Jake had to move home. Kill me. Don't. But anyways, so then I'm panicking, and I'm like, and I also started dating Em at this point. And I was still living with Jake. We were all having so much fun, and then it came to a sad end when Jake had to move home, and I was like, fuck. And then, no one was, accepting me for an apartment. So I was like, well, I'll just apply everywhere. And whoever accepts me, I'll move. So I made a horrible mistake. And I moved to West Hollywood. Which sounds like a dream to some people. Not for me. I'm never living there again. I moved the furthest away from what I like. So that didn't make much sense. And I move in. The day I move in, I saw a fucking roach on the floor, and I fucking knew it. And everyone gaslit me. And they were like, no. And I'm like, no, I saw it. And they're like, no, it's nothing. And I know that they, like, probably saw it, but didn't want me to be absolutely horrified because, like, I already had signed a lease and just moved all my stuff in. So, like, what are we going to do? And then, like, I slowly, like, start seeing more and more. And I'm like, no. I think this was in January. So I had moved from, I need to put my do not disturb on. I had moved, the alarm's going to go off in 2 minutes and I'm going to get pissed. I had moved from Hollywood to West Hollywood, I think in January. I slowly start seeing little bugs. And then, like, I'm, like, making Cece's food, and I, like, I see a roach in her food, and I'm like, must be a coincidence, because I lived on the first floor, and it had been raining a lot, and I'm like, they must have got in from outside. I, like, knew at that point, but, like, you know, we need to lie to ourselves. And I'm like, it must be from outside. And then one wonderful, wonderful day, I would say in probably March, I'm, like, deep cleaning. I don't even want to say it. I pull the microphone out, the microwave. Mama, there was a nest in the fucking outlet. What did I do? Don't do this. I raided it. I took raid and I started, I don't know how I didn't get fucking electrocuted, spraying the entire outlet, screaming, sobbing my eyes out. And then I'm like, wait, like, they're in my fucking kitchen wall. They're in my food. They were in my food. They crawled into my food. So I got real skinny that month. And then I'm like, fuck no. And I call my dad sobbing, and he's like, oh. And then I call the maintenance, and I'm like, hey, there's, like, roaches. And they come look, and they're like, that's not a roach. I was like, no, that, like, is. And they're like, that's a water bug. And I'm like, that is a fucking roach, bitch. That is not a water bug. It was a German roach, which are the hardest ones to get rid of, okay? And he's like, he, like, looks, and I'm, like, pointing where the other ones are. I was like, yeah, it's a roach. And I'm like, yeah, so thank you. And then they're like, yeah, they'll come next week to, like, spray. So I'm like, okay, great. But, like, lucky for me, they, for some reason, only stayed in my kitchen, which is so nice of them. So, like, I, like, wait a week, and then they, like, spray my whole house for, like, roaches. And also, like, to do this, I had to push everything off the walls, like, package anything that was cloth. Like, I wrapped my whole couch up, like, everything. I had just gotten a new couch and everything. Like, it was great. It was awesome. And they spray, and I, like, waited, like, 2 weeks. Like, I stayed at M's apartment for, like, 2 weeks because I was scared of her, like, I don't know, licking the fucking wall, girl. I was just afraid, okay? And I'm, oh, that's great. It's going to make that noise now. So I'll just talk over it. So, this is 7 minutes. Oh, my fuck. Okay, so I go back to my house. I'm so excited. I'm like, there's not going to be roaches. Guess what? Yeah, there is. I opened my fridge, and they made a nest in my fridge. In my fridge. And then I'm like, what else are they nesting in? My blender, the backside vent of my microwave, like, they nested in everything. It was great. It was awesome because they're like, let's spray them out of the wall. And then they all were like, okay, we're going to crawl out and go in all your kitchen appliances. Hi! That's annoying. So they did that. Okay! Okay, it's fine, you know? Okay, so they crawled in all my kitchen appliances. Woohoo. My dad is an angel from above and somehow convinced these people to let me out of my lease. And they gave me my deposit and my last month of rent back. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Also, hi, this is me not having a single concept of money. And this is the Roach era was when I was negative and my bank account broke. So scary. Anyways, but, like, the apartment was overpriced as fuck, and it didn't have a parking spot, it didn't have air conditioning, it didn't have heat, it didn't have a dishwasher, it had roaches, like, what else? Oh, like, it didn't have a bath, like, yeah, and it was, like, over $2,000. Anyways, so that was good, because if I didn't get out of that lease, guess what? They were gonna kick me out, because I didn't have any money. So then I went from there, and I'm like, fuck, what'd I do? I moved into M's studio apartment. Thank you, Arm. And then me and M lived over there. And then we were like, okay, like, time for us to move into not a studio apartment because I got a lot of shit. And then we moved to a place in Beechwood Canyon, which was so beautiful and fun, but totally not my vibe. Totally not my vibe. I think that's more for, like, people who are chill and like to stay home and be quiet and relax. I like doing things. Is that 5? Why do I feel like I'm missing one? Is that 4? before? Girl, I don't fucking know. Basically, I had a roach infestation, and it was the most... I would never wish that. I was going to say I would never wish that upon my worst enemy, but perhaps I might. But no, I probably wouldn't. It was, like, actually, like... If I see a roach now, even outside, like, my whole body, like... It squirms up inside of me, and I'm a shell. It's... And you'd think, like, this girl would have helped me and, like, tried to eat them, but no. One time we saw a coyote, I thought it was a fucking dog, and I'm like, come here. And then she was hiding behind my legs. I'm like, wait, girl, what? Yeah, it's because it's fucking coyote, and also, girl, you're bigger than it. So she didn't do anything to help me. I don't even know where I'm at in the story right now. Oh, and then we moved again. I think I'll stay here. I hope. I have a fun hobby of moving every 3 months, every year. I've never broken a lease, though, so that's nice. Girl. I'm, like, thinking about roaches now. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say. I'm about to do a interview for CNN. I'm not going to say what it's about, because I don't even know if it's going to be put up, but get excited for that. The last 2 I did, they didn't go anywhere. I don't know what's up with that. Sometimes people will be like, we want to interview you for this or our magazine. And then I'm like, hell yeah, that's so cool. And then I like do it and then I never see it. So anyways, I know I said I was going to tell you the Dax Flame thing this time, but like that roach thing is heavy on my mind right now. It's heavy on my mind right now. So I just had to tell you that, but I'm going to go. Bye.